as the top-performing orphan from the impoverished mountainous region of Jiugou Mountain. I was chosen by the wealthy Green family to become their daughter. During our final farewell, the villagers urged me. This opportunity is rare. Stay obedient and know your place. For 3 years, the Greens exploited me as their publicity stunt while Emily tormented me daily. The family amassed billions while I died on the eve of my college entrance exams. My bullies pulled me from the water barrel as blood gushed from my chest. David magnanimously told my attackers he wouldn't press charges. I'd always been compliant. Yet this was my reward. How I regretted. What if I'd rebelled from the start? I opened my eyes to see David's face, momentarily thinking the Greens had miraculously saved me. The couple smiled warmly, asking if I'd accept becoming their daughter. The blazing sun overhead. The familiar surroundings. This was my rebirth at the adoption ceremony. I'd overestimated the Greens again. Why would they waste resources saving a mere pawn? As David said, daughters get nurtured, but broken chess pieces get replaced. Even Rebirth proved more likely than this capitalist showing mercy. I gazed at the villagers from Jiugou Mountain crying in the audience, urgently gesturing for me to agree. How I longed to embrace Mary and sob about my suffering in the Green household. To return home. Last life. I left this way never to return. When first chosen, Mary had mended my clothes while Tom packed my belongings. It's my fault I could only feed you. Mary wept. Stay here and you'll end up a migrant worker. Susan added. Smart girl like you deserves better. Just visit sometimes, help our kids if you can. Top of my class with delicate features. I'd believed in my bright future. Last life. I eagerly accepted the Greens' offer to repay my village. Now. Mary grew frantic at my hesitation. She stormed the stage, beating me with her shoe. Stop moping. Say yes. My cheek burned as tears fell, her first strike in 18 years. David intervened. No need for violence. She's just nervous. I'll beat sense into her. Staying here means ruin. Mary shrieked. Relentless despite Susan and Tom trying to restrain her. I hid behind Mrs. Green. Whimpering. I accept. The chaos ceased. Mary wiped her nose and stomped off as Mrs. Green announced to media, we'll love her as our own. Cameras captured my tearful face buried in her silk blouse. Headlines blared, orphan bullied at adoption ceremony, Green family rescues disadvantaged youth. Mrs. Green patted me. Let's go. I clung to her arm like a frightened child. Noticing the triumphant glance between the Greens, their puppet played perfectly. Every moment from now would diverge from last life. I'd master their games of pretense, climb on giants' shoulders, and honor Jiugou Mountain's upbringing. That afternoon, the Greens took me to Henry's charity auction. The 7th-generation tycoon's national orphanage renovation project promised billions in contracts. Our adoption spectacle had trended nationwide. Guests now praised the Greens' compassion while eyeing me like a zoo exhibit. Mrs. Green clung to me like precious cargo. Her performance almost convincing were it not for my ragged clothes. David squeezed my hand reassuringly. You're safe now. We're your parents. Last life. I'd believed their tearful tale of feeling parental connection. Now I marveled at their acting prowess. During the event, Henry's assistant invited the Greens to a private meeting. Progress faster than last timeline. By evening, the masks dropped. Emily snatched back my ceremony gifts, hissing, "Don't touch my things. Country mutt. Cross me and I'll kill you." Last life. I'd begged forgiveness, earning bruises and confinement to the maid's closet. Now devoid of illusions, I smiled. My first mission, minimize unnecessary damage. If they abandoned pretense, I'd perfect mine. Emily Green stepped closer, ready to shove me. I feigned fragility, whispering, "Please don't, my heart condition. If I get too stressed, I won't be presentable tomorrow when Mom and Dad take me to meet Henry Johnson." David snorted dismissively, as if I'd said something utterly naive. Emily became incensed. "What does a charity case need presentable for? As long as you're breathing to prove my parents' philanthropy, that's enough." Think we expect you to support them in old age? Half dead is your ideal state. Right, Dad? David remained silent. So my entire existence meant nothing, just a prop for their charity branding. Every meal I ate, every shirt I owned, were unnecessary expenses in their eyes. Once they secured that government contract, I'd become obsolete. My eventual death hadn't been accident, but inevitability. A chill ran through me. These capitalists were more vicious than I'd imagined. Stealing myself. I pushed my face forward dramatically. If humiliating me helps Mom and Dad, go ahead. Emily raised her hand, furious at my performance. I quickly added, I'd planned to tell Henry Johnson tomorrow how compassionately you've cared for underprivileged youth. But if Emily's right. The Greens suddenly sprang into action. Mrs. Green pulled Emily back while David confiscated the designer backpack and dress she'd been holding. We'll duplicate everything in Emily's room for you, he ordered the housekeeper. Thank you, Dad. I hesitated. May I keep my birth name? For media consistency? Of course. Mrs. Green cooed. Just remember, tomorrow. You'll simply mention how happy you are. Nothing about the senior living facility project. I clung to David's arm like a devoted daughter. Across the room, Emily stood frozen, her lonely silhouette disappearing upstairs. My heart twinged unexpectedly. I'd grown up surrounded by village aunties like Mary Brown and Susan Lee who'd fought over feeding me their best dumplings. Emily's entire life had been transactional, her arranged marriage, her role as family scapegoat, all desperate bids for parental approval. Dawn brought sartorial disaster. The Greens dressed me in mismatched thrift store rags that even my poorest village days hadn't seen. True poverty meant patched but clean clothes, this ensemble screamed escaped mental patient. I bit my tongue. Today's meeting with Henry Johnson would determine whether I remained mere charity mascot or gained real leverage. The mahogany doors opened to reveal the silver-haired mogul. His entourage of broad-shouldered executives parted as he approached, reminding me of 1920s gangsters but with better tailored suits. Henry's eyebrows climbed seeing my outfit. Yet he listened intently to my carefully crafted responses about educational opportunities and community support systems. When he asked about national child welfare programs, I channeled my past life suffering. A child's well-being depends on entire ecosystems, families, schools, businesses. For vulnerable children, we need transparent, multi-stakeholder oversight. Henry removed his jade ring, its icy veins symbolizing growth through adversity. Wear this always, he said, ignoring David's sputtered protests. The unspoken message clear, this fragile heirloom would be my protection. Post-meal, Henry delivered his verdict. Your past childcare violations concerned me. But Lily's transformation makes me reconsider. Prepare your bid materials. The Greens' smiles turned rigid. They hadn't expected their puppet to become the puppeteer. As we left, I touched the jade at my throat, cold now, but warming to my pulse. The game had just begun. Henry Johnson looked at me, then turned to David. If Lily maintains good grades and majors in a related field, I'll have additional projects for your family. The Greens nodded eagerly like hungry chicks. On the drive home, I overheard Mrs. Green whisper, "Do you think Lily could be Henry's secret love child?" I glanced at my borrowed clothes, knowing I'd never have to wear rags again. Exhausted, I collapsed onto my bed. Hunger gnawed at me, but I forced my eyes shut. Clever Emily would already be guarding the kitchen, going for food now would be asking for trouble. Yet sleep evaded me as memories flooded back, the villagers of Jiugou Mountain who'd raised this orphan, pooling coins for my textbooks, begging me to accept adoption despite their own poverty. Their weathered faces haunted me. That's why I'd chosen this path again without the Greens' resources. I'd never finish high school, let alone college. So many Jiugou kids still suffered, parents lost to migrant labor accidents, elders disappearing during herb gathering, bright students exploited by city sharks. But I'd return to fight for them. I needed to move faster. Morning came with a textbook slamming into my chest, knocking the wind from me. A designer loafer crushed my face. Emily stood above me in her Chanel tweed suit. Beauty warped by contempt. Trash. Time for school. I'll ride in the Rolls-Royce Starlight while you crawl into some taxi. Her laughter turned venomous. Don't think they'll ever love gutter scum like you. I understood her rage. The Greens showered affection only on their son Michael, grooming Emily as marriage bait for the Johnson heir. No amount of perfect grades or manners earned their praise. Her abuse became my penance for stealing non-existent parental love. Ridiculous. At 5 feet 8 inches, this mountain girl could easily overpower her spoiled fists. I shoved her foot away, sending her stumbling. As she scrambled for weapons, I switched tactics. Emmy, I cooed, batting eyelashes. I've never seen Starlight headliners. Can't we ride together? The theatrics surprised even me. Turns out I'm quite the actress. Last life taught me elite school's cruelty. This time, I'd milk every resource. First day transportation spoke volumes. Seizing her hesitation, I pressed on. Mom and Dad would be so proud seeing how well you're caring for me at home. Her resolve wavered. But they said. I silenced her with a finger. They're too busy for household details. Don't you want to help like Michael? No wonder, her face betrayed desperate longing for approval. Still, she snapped. What do you want? Charity rags serve their purpose. I shrugged. Daily outfits reflect Green family prestige. If we can't even dress an extra properly. Impossible. She recoiled. Get lost. Thus, on freshman orientation day, I wore Emily's most expensive blazer and rode the Rolls-Royce. The teacher's night and day attitude from my previous life confirmed my strategy worked. Not vanity, survival. Next challenge, reshaping my classroom environment. Scanning the room from the podium, I recognized every face. Last time, I'd naively believed top grades and generosity would win acceptance. How wrong I'd been. These kids compared designer tablets and private tutors like trading cards. My Jiugou education barely placed me mid-pack here. The chasm between mountain and metropolis yawned wide. Now I saw resources, not rivals. Their parents were CEOs, senators, tycoons, all potential allies for Jiugou. If I could. New student? Introduce yourself. Lily Anderson. Geography enthusiast. Where's my seat? The class exchanged glances at my brevity. The teacher pointed to a back corner. Whispers crackled, they'd already dissected every adoption rumor, casting me as gold-digging villain. Emily's clothes cemented their narrative. I knew the drill, subtle probes escalating to full bullying. With altered choices, predictions faltered. I'd need to improvise based on their tells. Jason materialized at my desk post-bell, reeking of cheap cologne and cheaper intentions. The Emily fanboy leaned uncomfortably close. Hillbilly. He sneered. You know that jacket costs more than your hovel? Deja vu gripped me. Last life. Similar taunts had exposed my poverty like fresh wounds. Now his breath fogged my glasses as I remembered this punk would spend 3 years weaponizing my background. Teenage pride had crumbled then. Not this time. My heart aches for that version of me. Every kid from a poor family gets pushed around like this at some point. Though I'm still 16 in age, I've shed that impoverished student mentality. Without even glancing at him, I turned to Emily Green and shouted, Emmy. He thinks my outfit's cute and wants the link. This is Emmy's clothes. Aren't they amazing? When a guy compliments a girl's outfit in high school, the whole class erupts in Jason panicked, whipping his head around to look at Emily before scrambling off my desk. What? I never said her clothes were nice? I stood up, closing the distance. You don't like Emmy's style? Are you saying she has bad taste? I gasped dramatically, covering my mouth in mock surprise. Jason stammered. No. I like it. Emily marched over mid-manicure. Acrylics clicking. This is Miu Miu's new collection. Seriously, Jason. Why were you asking about girls' clothes? Scram. Flushing crimson. Jason stood frozen like a malfunctioning robot. I tugged Emily's arm, eyes shining with admiration. He totally said it looked good. Only you could pull this off. It keeps getting prettier the more I look. What even is Mio? Emily pinkened, mumbling. I've got more pieces. Come try another set tonight, it'll suit you. She smacked Jason's shoulder with her textbook. Beat it. And stay away from Lily from now on. Jason fled to imaginary bathroom duties amid hollering classmates. Emily scanned the room. What are y'all staring at? I felt slightly manipulative. But this worked. High school girls don't do neutral, you're either enemies or allies. That shout probably enlisted me in her squad. I'm not here for clique wars. Just to study without bullying distractions. Days rolled on like this. Emmy. I can't find the Crimson Building. Emmy. Do you know the gym teacher well? I need to skip class but, gradually. Emily became both my sidekick and protector. She wasn't truly mean, just starved for validation. Under my influence, she started focusing on academics. Her grades skyrocketing. As she put it, we basically live together now. Can't have you outshining me too much. I studied like a crazed catfish in a fisherman's tank, making top students nervous. By semester's end, I claimed first place, becoming the freshman prodigy. Next term brought English and math competition accolades, catching elite university's attention. With Emily as my hype woman, I became the class mascot. I sensed her quiet pride in my achievements. Sophomore year, I got custom tutors funded by the school. By second semester, I was auditing Tsinghua's gifted program. My catfish effect boosted our class average by 16 points. My deskmate Ethan, the albino bluefin tuna I'd accidentally motivated, joined me. As the miller's youngest heir, Ethan's snow-white hair and model looks made him instantly recognizable. The stereotypical rich playboy. He'd been A-list famous since age 10. Though brilliant, he considered studious types boring. Initially disdainful of my work ethic, he still outscored me while napping through classes. My progress shocked him. When I took first place, he'd climbed from last to second. By finals, I suspected he let me win. While I survived on 4 hours sleep, he partied and gamed. Eventually, I'd beg for his help on problems. No sweet talk worked. Only challenges. Each solution came with a scoff. Don't waste my time with baby questions. I'd gush. Wow. Your method makes it so clear. You're amazing. He'd lean back, smugly crossing his legs. He even shared his elite tutors and resources, useless to me. Your gain. Infuriatingly brilliant. He got into the gifted program that rejected me. More maddening? He declined the offer. When college applications came, I chose Peking's linguistics program while he picked law. He cornered me post-submission. After all those math competitions, you picked Chinese literature? Ethan fumed. At least choose English. What future does this major have? You think your precious David will bankroll you forever? That last jab hit raw. I glared up at his 6-foot frame. It's Mr. Green to you. Just because you're pretty doesn't mean I'll take your crap anymore. We've graduated, no more needing your help. He sneered. So it's use me then ditch me? You consulted who about this? Your beloved. My sharp look silenced him. Truth was, he'd guided my competition journey. I should have asked his opinion. Provoking him, I said, I'll be a teacher in Jiugou Mountain. Should I pick normal college over Peking? Ethan's face darkened. You're returning to that backwater? After all this? His voice dropped. You'd abandon everything here? I thought for a moment. Of course I won't stay. Then he left without another word. Why didn't he try to persuade me? I was genuinely puzzled. You didn't apply for mathematics either. Did you? Went for law instead? Pfft. I watched his retreating figure before entering the house. The Greens immediately rose from the couch when I stepped in. David gestured. Lily. Come sit. There's someone you should meet. That's when I noticed the young man across the coffee table turning around, my so-called brother I'd never met. I took my seat beside Mrs. Green. This is Michael. Your brother. Mrs. Green announced proudly. Though we'd never crossed paths, I knew all about him. He managed Green Construction Group while launching multiple startups. His face frequently gracing business magazines the Greens conspicuously displayed for visitors. Nice to meet you. Michael. His name sounded vaguely Korean, making me instinctively want to bow. He nodded politely before cutting to the chase. I heard you applied for linguistics. Have you considered business administration instead? David slammed his teacup down. Consider? We're taking over Henry's welfare center project. I don't trust outsiders. And Michael needs help. You'll complete the accelerated business program at Haas this year. When you turn 18 next summer, you start working with us immediately. It's settled. Settled my foot. I barely escaped being their errand girl through high school. Now they want me working before graduation? Corporate greed. Though part of me did consider practical majors leading to six-figure salaries. My true passion lay in education. I wanted to build schools for Jiugou Mountain kids. Give them the resources I never had. But I started. David stood abruptly. Want? Who's paying your tuition? You'll study what we say. Even risking punishment. I couldn't back down. I'll pay my own way. Every penny you've spent, I'll repay. As David turned crimson, Michael intervened. Dad. Let me talk to her. At the cafe, Michael slid car keys and 2 black cards across the table. These are from me. Not the parents. Buy whatever you want. Many would kill for this opportunity at Green Construction. He was decent. So I switched tactics. Flattery first, Michael. Your startups aren't just profit-driven. You actually want to make a difference. His faint blush told me I'd struck gold. Empathy next, I want to contribute meaningfully too. Just like you. But business administration, he began. Problem-solving finale, if you can wait a year. There's someone more suitable. I signaled. And Emily strutted in, slamming her report card on the table while pocketing the keys and cards. Big bro. Look. I'm third in class now. Her natural sibling whine worked magic. Fine. Take your time deciding. Michael relented under Emily's pestering. The Greens' recent PR campaign touting child-centered parenting and educational excellence, partly their own propaganda, helped secure the welfare center bid. At Henry's celebratory dinner in Skyline Towers VIP lounge, I was shocked to see Ethan present. My grandson here gave you tough competition at school. Didn't he, Lily? Henry chuckled, patting the silver-haired boy who stood awkwardly in his tailored suit. The polished young heir bore little resemblance to the rebellious slacker who napped through classes and street-raced motorcycles. I'm training him as our family's legal counsel, Henry declared. Even wild spirits get chained by family interests. It seemed. The conversation turned dangerous when Henry asked, Heard you rejected the business program? The Greens eagerly piled on complaints. Henry's smile didn't reach his eyes. I could persuade her, for a price. The Greens said. We'll follow Henry's lead. Henry gave Ethan a meaningful look, prompting Ethan to nod and stand. Ethan addressed Lily. Lily. Let's talk privately. As I started rising, Michael pressed my shoulder down, locking eyes with Ethan. The silver-haired man smirked, his narrow eyes glinting with provocation. Heard your persuasion attempt failed, he drawled. Emily tugged Michael's sleeve pleadingly. Brother. Wind whipped across the balcony that evening, tousling Ethan's hair as he leaned against the railing. You want to lead Jiugou Mountain's children out of poverty. Like yourself, he stated rather than asked. I nodded. His laugh held contempt. Ever consider you haven't truly escaped either? Why else devise such naive plans? Did Jiugou's teachers get you into Peking University? Without the Greens hiring top tutors, my sponsorship of your tech gear, my sharing competition intel, you'd still be memorizing textbooks for 3 years straight. My chest constricted. He was right, my return would have wasted this second chance. They need resources, not just teachers. Ethan continued. You must climb higher. Make the world see Jiugou. Then real change comes. Later. I agreed to major in business administration despite the room's astonishment. Henry declared terms. I control her program details. Duration. And funding. She'll work for me 3 years. Then choose her path. The Greens exchanged uneasy glances as Henry ordered Ethan to make arrangements. Report to Johnson Enterprises tomorrow, Ethan told me. Starting work already? I blurted. His eyes mocked my surprise. I've been working since childhood. Turned out wealthy heirs hustled too. My 3 years involved overseeing the Green family's national charity projects with Michael. Media captured tearful me embraced by smiling Mrs. Green. Perfect PR imagery. My current projects thrive. Jiugou's cultural tourism, marketed as Fulfill Your Parents' Dream, must visit Jiugou, featuring poet Fan Xian's hometown. And an education initiative partnering top teaching colleges. Graduates intern at our model school, gaining resume credentials while improving student outcomes. We've built better roads so children leave/return easier. Visiting Mary in Jiugou. She joked. My shoe soles deserve credit. I laughed. Absolutely. I owe you. Her eyes grew misty. We were desperate. When you left for that bone-crushing Green household, Susan joined her tears. No more suffering. I promised. That evening at Tang Palace's Spring Hall, I apologized to Michael and Emily over dinner. Having uncovered the Greens' illegal dealings, I'd reported them, resulting in 3 5-year sentences. I'd transferred their projects to Michael, who drank heavily yet thanked me for mercy. They're still my parents, he said thickly. On the restaurant balcony later, Ethan approached swaggering in his trench coat. Thin coat? Out all morning? Saw Michael? Emily giving you grief? How do you always know? Used to know more than you. Now I track obsessively. His smile turned playful. This your thanks? Where's the effort? What do you want? Ethan? Marriage proposal sounds fair. Lily Anderson and David Green headed over to meet Emily Green. Michael, Emily's older brother, was already there. Mary Brown and Susan Lee ran into Tom Wang during the Brown family gathering. Everyone called Henry Johnson Old Henry affectionately, while Ethan Miller became unforgettable with his bleach blonde hair that earned him the nickname Snowflake. Jason Zhao stood as a pivotal figure in the Green family's corporate empire, his strategic mind steering boardroom decisions that rippled through Wall Street. Across town, Emmy's art studio buzzed with creativity as she splashed vibrant colors across canvases. Her paint splattered overalls bearing witness to yesterday's inspiration. At the Lee residence, Susan's famous apple pie aroma wafted through wrap-around porch screens, mingling with the sound of cicadas in the 100-degree southern heat. Meanwhile, Tom's garage band rehearsed classic rock covers, the amplifier feedback briefly drowning out Mrs. Thompson's complaints from across Elm Street.